Using gear as character to boost your military thriller writing. Discover how to personify military gear to deepen characters and tension in your thriller with this creative writing exercise for novice writers. Writing exercise 5. Gear as character, giving your military thriller extra punch. All right, let's have a chat about something that's often overlooked in writing a military thriller, or pretty much any thriller with a military slant: your gear. Not just as background fluff or cool trinkets to make the scene look realistic, but as something that actually breathes life, tension, and personality into your story. Think of it this way. What if your rifle, your radio, or even your night vision goggles were more than just tools? What if they were characters in their own right? I'm talking about a technique I call gear as character. It's about personifying military equipment and technology, making them integral parts of your narrative instead of afterthoughts. This can sharpen your characterization and boost your story's tension, especially in moments where trust, failure, or survival hangs in the balance. This isn't just a fancy idea. It's something I teach in my military thriller writing course, and it can transform the way you tell your story. Why treat gear like it's alive? Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does a piece of kit have a personality? Isn't that ridiculous? Not at all. Equipment in military thrillers often reflects the mindset, emotions, and stakes that your characters are juggling. For example, a veteran soldier might have a rifle that's seen a dozen missions, rusty, scratched, a bit unreliable. That rifle carries the weight of experience, almost like an old companion who's loyal but maybe not as sharp as before. Alternatively, a new recruit's shiny, state-of-the-art gear might represent hope, pressure, or even over-reliance on technology. By treating gear as an extension of your characters, or as a symbol of their circumstances, you add layers to the narrative. You aren't just describing a gun, you're hinting at history, trust, fear, or desperation. Practical ways to make gear a character. So, how do you actually do this? Here are some tips to make your writing pop. Choose your gear carefully. Identify the piece of equipment that fits your character best. Is it a clunky radio, a battle-worn helmet, or bespoke body armor? Pick something meaningful, not just whatever is standard issue. Give the gear quirks. Maybe the radio cuts out at the worst possible moment. Maybe the helmet's padding is worn down to the bone and uncomfortable but so familiar your character won't swap it. These little details breathe life. Reflect the character's emotional state through the gear. A soldier gripping a weapon tightly might reveal anxiety or resolve. Fumbling with cables on faulty tech could mirror frustration or desperation. Use the gear to amplify tension. Imagine a comms device breaking down at a critical moment. That malfunction becomes a character of its own, forcing your protagonist to react and adapt, raising the stakes. Describe the interaction beyond looks. How does the gear sound, feel, or even smell? The clack of a magazine being loaded, the hum of a drone overhead. These sensory details form a personality. A mini example. Imagine a scene where your protagonist, Captain Ellis, is sneaking through enemy territory with an old, temperamental night vision device. Instead of just saying, "He switched on his night vision goggles," you might write, "Ellis exhaled sharply and pressed the goggles to his face. The old thing whirred nervously, its green glow flickering like a candle in a breeze. He winced. Every time it faltered, it reminded him of that ambush last winter, where darkness nearly swallowed him whole." See? Now the goggles carry history, mood, and a hint of danger on their own. They're more than equipment. They're a reminder, a hindrance, a character with quirks. Why this matters in your writing course. If you're keen on creative writing, taking a structured approach helps, and this exercise is a powerful tool to add complexity to your characters and plot. Instead of your story being man with gunfight's enemy, it becomes man and his weapon's fragile trust are tested. That's a much richer canvas. In fact, if you want to learn specific methods and see examples, check out the Military Thriller Writing course. The course walks you through exercises like this one, balancing action, character development, and gear dynamics. Wrapping up. So next time you're writing a story, think beyond physical descriptions. Consider what your gear says about your characters, their history, their fears, their flaws. Give your readers subtle cues through these silent characters and you'll find your narrative tension rising naturally. If you want a step-by-step way to grow your skills, especially for military thrillers, head over and enroll now and start writing course. It's designed to sharpen both your storytelling and your understanding of how to make every element, yes, even gear, matter. Right, that's all from me for now. Happy writing, and remember, sometimes the most unassuming gear is actually your story's secret weapon.